Hello, what we are going to do today is factoring tricky trinomials. And before we start factoring tricky trinomials, we are going to review the two factoring methods we have learned. So one is common factoring, another one is the simple trinomial factoring. So this is what we have learned before. One is common factoring. Common factoring means we are going to find the greatest common factor. So for the greatest common factor, we are going to see 36, 27. What are the two numbers go into each number? So it means which number could be, each term could be divided by that number. So if you see the factoring sheet, you will see 36, you have 1 times 36, 2 times 18, 3 times 12, 4 times 9, 6 times 6. And 27, from your factor number sheet, you will see 1 times 27, 2 doesn't work, 3 times 9. Then we are going to see the common number from these two columns. So you will see 1, 27, 3, 9. 1, 3, 9. So 9 and 9, they are the greatest common number. We call this is the greatest common factor of 36 and 27. So this is number, greatest common factor is 9 from these two terms. Then for the variables, for the same variable, we are going to find the lowest degree. So for x, one is 2, another one, no number means 1. So lowest degree will be x to the exponent 1. Then we see the next letter, y. Y to the exponent 4, y to the exponent 3. The lowest degree is 3, so y to the exponent 3. Then for the z cubed, z squared, so 3 and 2, lowest one is 2, so the greatest common factor is the lowest degree for the same variable, so it will be z2. Then after that, we are going to 9xy cubed z squared, then each term times bracket, because this times with bracket, so each term need to be divided by this greatest common factor. Then put the number after division in the bracket. So 36 divided by 9 give you 4. X squared divided by x, the division of the same base, the degree subtract. So 2 minus 1 give you x to the exponent 1. We don't need to write the degree 1 here. Y to the exponent 4 divided by y to the exponent 3. 4 minus 3 give you 1. So y to the exponent 1. Then z cubed divided by z squared. 3 minus 2 give you 1. So z to the exponent 1. Then 27 divided by 9 give you 3. Then x divided by x is 1. Y cubed divided by y cubed, 1. Z squared divided by z squared, same is 1. So this is the final answer. Or you could draw the 1 by 2 box. So I don't want to draw this one here. Then the next one, greatest common factor. If both got a negative number, we want to take the negative out because we want the first term in the bracket to be positive. If you don't take it out, it will be right true. But normally we take the negative sign to make sure the first term in the bracket is positive. Okay, 7 and 49. 49, we have 7 times 7, so the greatest common number from these two is 7. So negative 7. Then for the variable, x squared, lowest degree is 1, so x is common factor. Y, this one doesn't have y, then y is not a common factor. You need to make sure you have both got that variable, then that variable has a common factor. If only one term you have variable y, another one you don't have variable y, then variable y is not a common factor. So greatest common factor is negative 7x. And for this question, I want to show you the box, but you don't need to show me this box method. You give me the final answer, then it's okay. So negative 7xy. And this one is negative 49x squared. So we have the common factor negative 7x here. Then this is area for this box. One side is given. To find another side, we do the area divided by one side. Negative 7 divided by negative 7 is 1. X divided by x is 1. So y is whatever left. Then you can check. Times together, you have negative 7xy. The next box, area is negative 49x squared. Negative 49 divided by negative 7 give you positive 7. X squared divided by x, 2 minus 1, the degree, give you x to exponent 1. So then you write one side is negative 7x, another side is y plus 7x. Bracket, that is done. Okay. So this is what we did before for common factoring. And for the next one is factoring trinomials. So you have 1, 2, 3 terms. If you see factoring and you have 3 terms, always we need to start with the x game. Times together is your last term. I together is middle term, but without the variable x, just a number at front of the x. So we are going to see what are the 2 numbers. Times together 10, I together 7. Always you need to find the factor of 10. So factor of 10 is 1 times 10, 2 times 5. 3 doesn't work, 4 doesn't work, 5 times 2 is same as 2 times 5, so you only have 2 different pairs of factors of 10. So these 2 pairs, we are going to see which one add together is 7, is 2 and 5. So these are the 2 numbers you found from these factors of 10. Then because this is a simple trinomial, means the number at front of x squared is 1. So you just need to put 2 numbers we found in the bracket. So plus 2, plus 5. Then it's done. This is what we have learned. The second method for factoring is a simple trinomial factoring. And how can you tell these 2 different? You see, these are the 3 terms, and always we are going to find common factor from these 3 terms. 1, 7, 10, no common factor. X squared, x, no number, no common factor. So after we check no common factor, then we are going to try the 3 terms x game. Okay, so always you try common factoring first. Then after that, you see if you have 3 terms, then x game. This one, you see you have 2 terms, then it's not x games. So that's reason how you can tell. Always find the common number from each term, common variable from each term, then this term times bracket. Use the original term divided by the term greatest common factors and find the terms in the bracket. And for this one, we check 1918, no common factoring. X squared, X, no X, so no common factors. So there's no greatest common factor. Then we try the 3 terms X game. So this one I want to pause it and you try it. So times together 18, add together -9. Use your factor number sheet. Find the factors of the top number. It's 18, 2 times 9, 3 times 6, 4, 5 doesn't work, 6 times 3, repeat, so we stop here. And this time we are going to use times together is negative, so larger number need to be negative, and times together is positive, so both need to be negative, and you will see none of them, oh, -3, -6 works. Then we are going to use XX, simple trinomial. You put x times x give you x squared, and these two numbers put in the bracket. So first times first, x squared. -3 times -6 give you positive 18. Then the middle term is -3x, -6x. Add together give you -9x. So that is how you do the simple trinomial factoring. And today we are going to learn for the first one, the number is at front of the x squared is not 1, but it is a common factor. So all of them are even numbers, so 12 could be divided by 2, 18 could be divided by 2, so 2 is common factor. Then we can take 2 times x squared, each term divided by 2, you have 12 divided by 2, 6x. 18 divided by 2 plus 9. Then we continue, you have the simple trinomial, 3 terms. Then for simple trinomial, we are going to use 3 terms. We use x game, times together 9, add together 6. So the 9, we have factor 1 times 9, 3 times 3. Then we are going to see which two numbers from each pair. 1 plus 9 is 10, 3 plus 3 is 6, so 3 works. Then we put these two numbers we found in the bracket. Then this one is done. This is one way that if after we find the greatest common factor, we take the greatest common factor out, then 2 times bracket. In the bracket is simple trinomial. Then we could factor the trinomial that the number at front of x squared is not 1 by doing the common factoring. So for the next one, we are going to see greatest common factor we have is 3, 12, 36. Then each term could be divided by 3, so we take the 3 out. So 3 times each term divided by 3. -12 divided by 3 is -4x. -36 divided by 3 is -12. Then inside the bracket, it is a simple trinomial again. We need to factor fully. So if you could find two numbers times together -12, add together -4, then you need to continue. So get your factor number sheet out and find the two numbers. So I will post the video here and please try it by yourself. If you are watching this video by yourself, please pause it now and try to find the two numbers. Then after you complete this factoring, check your answer. So 12, the two numbers we are going to find. factors of the top number. 1 times 12, 2 times 6, 3 times 4. So we keep trying 1, 2, 3, 4. Use 12 divided by 1, divide by 2, divide by 3 to get another number. And for this one, add together is negative, so larger number need to have the same sign as the sum. Then times together is negative 12, so you need to have different sign for one positive, one negative, times together give you negative. Then we are going to see, okay, positive 2, negative 6, add together give you negative 4. So these are the two numbers, plus 2 minus 6. Then this is done. But not always we could take the number at front of the x squared as a common factor. If it's not, then we are going to use today's method, factoring tricky trinomial. So this is a is not 1, and also this is not a common factor. If it is a common factor, then we could convert this tricky trinomial to simple trinomial. Then we know how to factor simple trinomial. And today we are going to see the number at front. You cannot factor it out. And how are we going to do it? We are going to do the X game. So factor fully. Remember, look for the common factor first. 3, 5, 2, no common factor. They are prime number. No, 5 cannot be divided by 3. So 3 is not greatest common factor. And also we don't have other numbers. We can take them out. We could go into each number except 1. Then 1 is not greatest common factor. So if none of them work, 3, 5, 2, no common factor, then we are going to start the X game. And for the X game, this time be careful. We need to times A and C together. This time A is 3 is not 1, so 3 times 2 give you 6. So this is time together. Add together is still the number at front of X, 5. Then 6, the factor is 1 times 6, 2 times 3. Then you will find out, okay, 2 and 3 works. And the difference from the simple trinomial is we cannot put 2 and 3 inside the bracket directly. You need to place first term and constant in the 2 by 2 box first. So we are going to use the box method, draw a box. The reason why we couldn't put 2, 3 here, because the last term, 2 times 3 give you 6, is not 2, so it doesn't work. So now we are going to put first term, ax squared, in the first box, first cell. And the last term, the constant, into the last cell. 2 put in the last cell. The two numbers you found, we'll put them diagonal. So determine the two numbers, then place these two numbers into other two empty cells with variable x. Okay. So this one, 2 and 3, we are going to put them diagonally, 2x, 3x. You could switch them, 2x here, 3x here. Then you will check. Oh, this is 3, sorry. So first term is 3x squared. So you could switch them, 3x here, 2x here. Then after that, the next one is the first row. We are going to do the greatest common factoring. So it means you are going to cover the second row. So we are going to cover the second row. Just focus on the first row. So just focus on the first row. Okay, just focus on first row, 3x squared and 2x. What are the common factor from these two terms? 3, 2, no common factor. X squared, x, both has variable x. Then the greatest common factor from these two x terms will be the lowest degree of x. So it's 1. So the greatest common factor from 3x squared to x is x. Then after that, we are going to do the division. So we do this division, 3x squared divided by x. This is first division. Divide, okay. 3x squared divided by x give you 3x. 2x divided by x give you 2. So this is we factor the first row. And because this is different from greatest common factoring, greatest common factor is 1 by 2 box, but this one you have 2 by 2 box. So we do this one. For this one, we are going to use 3x divided by 3x, you have 1. 2 divided by 2, you have 1, so it works. Then we are going to write it by using 2 by 2. Okay, x plus 1 in one box, 3x plus 2 in another box. You could switch them. You could write it as 3 plus 2 first, x plus 1 after. Both works. They are same. 2 times 3 equals 3 times 2. So the order for multiplication doesn't matter. Okay. So this is you learned today's same tricky trinomial factor. This is how you do it, and we are going to repeat this one, practice on it. So the first step, what we are going to do is x game, and for the x game, times together is not the last term, it's a times c. So a times c give you 6 times -4 give you -24. The I together is the number at front of x, no x, just number, -5. Then use your number factor number sheet to find which two numbers times together give you -24. So we find -24, 1 times 24 divided by 2, 24 divided by 2 give you 12. Keep trying, 3, 24 divided by 3 give you 8. Then next one, 4, 24 divided by 4 give you 6. 5 doesn't work. Next one is 6. 6 times 4 is same, so we stop. Then after that, we determine the larger number. Larger number sign is same as your sum. So the sum is negative, then larger number need to be negative. And times together is negative, so one number is negative, another one need to be positive. Then we are going to see which pair add together is -5. So this one. So +3, -8. Then we are going to use a box. The reason is if we put the number inside the bracket right away, then you have 3 times -8 is not the last term, -4, so it doesn't work. And the first term go into the first cell, 6x squared. Last term go into the last cell. The two numbers you found, we'll put them diagonal. 3x, -8x. These two terms add together is -5x. So we rewrite these three terms into 4 terms. Then we could use a factoring the first row. 6x squared, 3x. 6, 3, you have common factor 3. X squared, x. The lowest degree is x. Then we do the greatest common factor for the first row. 6x squared divided by 3x. 6 divided by 3 is 2. X squared divided by x is x. 3x divided by 3x will give you 1. Then the next row, we do the division. Negative 8x divided by 2x give you negative 4. Then negative 4 divided by 1 is negative 4. This divide must give you the same number, otherwise your number not right. You need to double check the x gain. Then this is one bracket, this is another bracket. So we are going to write 3x minus 4 bracket 2x plus 1. And you could check. How you are going to check? You just times. 3x times 2x give you 6x squared. 3x times 1 give you plus 3x. Negative 4 times each term. Negative 4 times 2x give you 8x. Negative 4 times 1 give you negative 4. Then collect the like terms is same as original. So when you are doing the factoring, always try to expand it and check it. But this is only for checking. This is not the final answer. Final answer is length times width. Bracket times bracket is factoring. Okay. This one, the backward you expand, that is expanding, simplify. So this we don't call it factoring. So this is what you need to know for this lesson. This is the method you need to know for today. So any questions? Post here, then you can just cover the answer and retry them to see if you can get the right answer. So give you 2 minutes and try it again, and if you have questions, please ask. After that, we are going to continue next page, practice. And we are going to do one more, then after that, let me just do the first 2, and after that you are going to practice on the other 6, okay? And then we're going to continue. So we are going to do this one together. So 4, 5, 6. There's no greatest common factor, x squared x. This one no x, so no greatest common factor. Then 3 terms, 1, 2, 3. We are going to start with the x game. And for the x game, always you times the number at front of x squared with the last term. If the number at the front of x squared is 1, then it's just 1 times negative 6 to give you negative 6. But if it's not 1, then just 4 times negative 6 give you negative 24. And I together is 5. So check your factor number sheet, you will find out is 3 and 8. And the times I together is positive 5, so its larger number is positive. Times together is negative, so 1 positive, 1 negative. Then we are going to put negative 3, positive 8 here, and we are going to do the box method. Remember, first term go into first, last term go into the last cell. 4x squared, negative 6. The 2 numbers you found, we'll put them into the other 2 empty box and with a variable x. So negative 3x, 8x. The reason is this I together should be equivalent with the original expression. So, and after that we cover the bottom one. I just focus on the first row. Common factoring 4x squared minus 3x. So now you will see it's very important you know how to do the common factoring, because we need the common factoring to do the tricky trinomial factoring. We do the greatest common factor for the first row. So 4x squared minus 3x. 4, negative 3, no common factoring. X squared, x, lowest degree is x. Then do the division. 4x squared divided by x give you 4x. Negative 3x divided by x is negative 3. Then 8x divided by 4x give you 2. Check. Negative 6 divided by negative 3 is 2, so it's correct. X plus 2 times 4x minus 3. When this is done, you could check. X times 4x, first time first, give you 4x squared. Last times last, 2 times negative 3 give you negative 6. The middle, 2 times 4, 8x. Outside, x times negative 3, negative 3x. So 8x minus 3x give you positive 5x is right. And for the next one, 2, 12, 16, always we check if we have the greatest common factor from each term. So 2, 12, 16, the greatest common factor is 2 because they are even number. For variable x squared, x, no x, so x is not a common factor. Then we take the 2 out 2 times, each term divided by 2. We have x squared plus 6x plus 16 divided by 2 is 8. Then this is a trinomial. Trinomial factoring will be the x gain. Times together last term, I together middle term. And for the 8, we have factor 1 times 8, 2 times 4. So I together is 6, so 2 and 4. And because this is 1 at front, so it is simple trinomial for the whatever in the bracket. So we just put the 2 numbers inside the bracket, plus 2 plus 4, that is done. So now I will pause the video and try the next 4 questions by yourself. I will go around to help you, okay? So we have, once you are done, we are going to check the answers. So for the first one, 3, 13, 10, no common factor. So we start the x game. Times together, remember, is first times last. 3 times 10 give you 30. And I together, negative 13. It will be negative 3, negative 10. Then cross, draw the box. 3x squared, positive 10, first and the last term, we put them here. Middle term, we split it into 2 terms, negative 3x and negative 10x. You could switch these two. Then after that, factor the first row. Yours may be different from mine, but the final answer will be same if you switch negative 3 with negative 10. So common will be 3 and x. This one will be x minus 1. And after that, do the division negative 10. So you will see if you switch these two, negative 10x, negative 3x, you will have the same factor. Then double check to see if you get the right answer. This one, 4, 23, 15, no common factor. So we do the cross x game first. 4 times 15 give you 60, and I together is negative 23. You use a factor number sheet, you will find out it's negative 20, negative 3. Then draw the box. (4x squared) 15. Then the two numbers, we do the diagonal, negative 3x, negative 20x. Then factor the first row, we have x, 4x minus 3, then negative 20x divided by 4x give you negative 5. Bracket 4x minus 3, x minus 5. Okay. And for the last two, I want to show you another method that is called the Australian method. So it's still we need to find the two numbers. Okay, 6 times 49, 5 give you negative 270. Then add together is negative 39. And you will find out 6 plus negative 45 give you negative 39. So it's 6 and negative 45. Then for this one, I will show you another method called Australian method. What it will be is you repeat ax, 8x. So it's ax over a. Okay, this is a value is 6, so 6x divided by 6 will give you 6x squared. And this method is going to be, I put these two numbers inside the bracket right away. Okay, plus 6 minus 45. Then you're going to common factor each bracket. So 6x plus 6, you have common factor 6. And 6x minus 45, we have common factor 3. So we take 3 times each term divided by 3, so we have 2x minus 15. And all over 6. 6 divided by 6 give you 1. We put 3 at front. X plus 1. 2x minus 15. That is done. So this method, you need to put the number in front of the x. 6, 3 times. Then after that, you need to factor each bracket and take the common factor out. Then you do the 6 divided by 6 give you 1 to get rid of the denominator. And sometimes you may need to cancel with another number too. Okay. So the next one, 8, 4, and 40, we have greatest common factor 4, and like I said, we don't want the negative at front of the first number, so we take negative 4 out of the bracket. So negative 4 times each term divided by negative 4, you have 2x squared minus x minus 10. Then in the bracket, it is a tricky trinomial again, so we are going to do the x again. Times together is 2 times negative 10 give you negative 20. Add together negative 1, you will have the two number is negative 4 and positive negative 5 and positive 4. Then we are going to do the box. It will be first term into the first box. So 2x squared, we put in the first cell is 2x squared, negative term is negative 10, and the middle term we use the two numbers we found from the two numbers is 4x, negative 5x. Add together is negative x. So this time you are going to use the number in the bracket into this 2 by 2 box. Then we are going to do the factoring of the first row. So it's 2x. Then 4x divided by 2 give you 2. Then negative 5x divided by x give you negative 5. Check the last term, negative 10 divided by negative 5 divided by 2 is negative 5. Then we put them in the bracket. 2x minus 5, x plus 2, then it's that. So check your answer. And the next one, so actually this one we could do it is we forgot to find the common factor. So this have the 3, then it will make it easier. So then this one we need to be careful. Find the greatest common factor first. Is 5. If you have 0, 5, then the greatest common factor will be 5. Then each term divided by 5 is 2x squared minus 27x plus 13. Then x gain times together 2 times 13 is 26. Add together negative 27. Then 1 times 26, negative 1, negative 26 will give you the negative 27. So I will show you this division method again. 2x divided by 2. So 2x times 2x divided by 2 give you 2x squared. This method, the good thing is you can put these two numbers in the bracket right away. Then after that, we are going to do the factoring of each bracket. 2x minus 1, no common factor, but 2x and negative 22, 6, you have 2 here. You could factor this one by dividing each term by 2, so it's x minus 13. Then we are going to divide these 2 with the denominator. Then you will have 5 bracket 2x minus 1 bracket x minus 13. That is that. So the last one, we have the common factor again. So greatest common factor for this one is negative 4. So we put negative 4, take negative 4 out. It means negative 4 times bracket. Each term divided by negative 4. It will be 3x squared minus 5x is plus 5x. Negative divided by negative is positive. 32 divided by negative 4 gives you negative 8. Then negative 4 bracket, we are going to do the x gain. 2 numbers times together is negative 24. Add together is 5. The 2 numbers will be 8 and the 3, 1 positive, larger number, 1 negative. Then we are going to use a box method or the division method. Is up to you. So we could do the box method again. 3x squared, use the number inside the bracket. Minus 8, minus 3x, positive 8x, then factor the first row. 3x, x minus 1, then 8x divided by x give you 8. So you have 3x plus 8, x minus 1. Check your answer. Okay, any questions? If no, we are going to do the next one. So this one, x squared minus 4, we could think is x squared plus 0x minus 4. Then you have 3 terms again, x gain. Times together negative 4, add together 0. So if we have sum is 0, then we need to have the two numbers same but different sign. So how to find two numbers same but with different sign? The square root of 4. You will have 2. So positive 2, negative 2, 2 times negative 2 give you negative 4, add together is 0. So we are going to write it as, this is simple trinomial. So just these two numbers put in the bracket. And this one, we do the same thing. Add together, times together negative 25, add together 0. You need to have two numbers same but with different sign. Square root of 25 is 5, negative 5. So x plus 5, x minus 5. Then you will see there is a pattern. If we have x squared minus a squared, you will always have just the square root of each term put in the bracket. So x times x give you x squared, a times a give you a squared, and one term plus one term minus. So plus ax minus ax, it will give you 0. So it works all the time. So this is a formula you need to remember for difference of squares. So this one we just write it as a square x squared minus 4 squared. Square root of 16 give you 4. Then we are going to just put x4 in the bracket. And remember, one is plus, one is minus. That is done. So for this one, we are going to see 9 is which number squared? Is 3. Then 4 is which number squared? Is 2. X squared is x. So we put the square root of each term in the bracket. Then the answer will be, we put the square root in the bracket and 1 plus 1 minus. So 3 times 3 give you 9. 2x times negative 2x give you negative 4x squared. The middle, positive 6x minus 6x give you 0. And the next one is a little bit tricky, but we just want to find the square root of each term. So 36 square root is 6. Y squared square root is y. 25 square root is 5. X squared square root is x. So the square root is just a degree divided by 2 for the variable. It's just degree divided by 2, then will give you the square root. So 2 divided by 2 give you y to the exponent 1, that is the square root of this one. Then after that, we are going to just put the square root in the bracket. Then you have 6y squared, 5x give you 25x, and 1 plus 1 minus. The middle term is plus 30x minus 30xy. They cancel out. So this is for the page 2.